everyone wants the capital to be a big city, but with big city comes big city problems.
I said that last week.
You know what I mean? So like, you know, people don't really think about that. Like, okay, so say we open up 3 more venues. That's 3 more opportunities for something crazy to happen.
With that happening, we get more chaos.
A
Things that are accustomed in a different city are not accustomed in Sacramento. We're starting to get that now because we're coming to a location or a certain point of a city where people want to be at.
Definitely.
And, you know, we get the good and the bad with that, you know, and obviously we're going through the bad part with the good as well. You know, I mean, I hate to reference, you know, a Spider-Man movie, but with great power comes great responsibility. You know,
You hella corny.
I'm sorry, but I'm just saying.
All right, Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben. Just saying, it's starting to make sense. You know what I mean? With the great rise of this city comes great responsibility for everybody to be accountable for certain actions.
Definitely.
And meaning that in a way of, now we're realizing that, dang, we're becoming this destination city, and we're still using the old school police officer. I hate to point the stigma against police, but we're still using that old school method, and we need a change in a way that could support this rise.
Yeah.
When we started building the new arena downtown, we still had a homeless issue downtown, which they wanted to change. It has gotten worse. They attempted to change. They attempted to move them to a different location, but after they attempted, it's like they fell off. They felt like it was good enough, and then it reverted back to
them off their doorstep right there while they was taking those pictures.
Right.
You know, that's all that came down to.
Yeah, that's all it is. They, you know, we talk about it all the time. The illusion of caring is easier than actually caring.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to that whole homeless aspect, they'll show that they care just so they can get them off, you know, off the property, so they're not detracting people from patronizing their business.
Right.
You know, when we talk about the homeless issue, bro, we ain't got shit compared to Frisco, LA, man. Have you seen that shit?
At all.
Absolutely.
Bro, they got penthouses that they done built on the street.
Stupid.
Right
Bro, how
on the
you got a
sidewalk, don't even
upstairs?
care.
Like you got a whole loft in your shit.
Stupid.
Like, bro, they innovative over there. Man.
Even bringing that up though, like I feel like the city, it has a lot of blame on their doorstep. You know what I mean? Like with the homeless situation, with the shootings. Why are there not? You know, you go to any major city. So I went to San Diego earlier this year. Gaslamp had a cop car at every other venue.
Man, love
Boom.
Gaslamp.
Man, love Gaslamp.
Love
Gaslamp
Gaslamp,
is
bro.
dope.
San
So
Diego,
safe.
San Diego, man. I'll be honest. That's one. I was just saying this, man. Like, I love San Diego. If there was any spot that I could move,
Love San Diego.
I would.
Facts.
That's the place I would go.
fucking love
And
San
afford
Diego.
is the other question,
Bro,
But
but-
what you were saying though is what I was trying to get at: the reference between the homeless and having a security or a police officer stationary in the nightclub areas. We have a strip where people go to, and they know that. And why aren't we having a lot more at night officers that are working OT, whatever it may be, stationary at these locations and making people feel safe?
It's too expensive, man. That's what they
don't
say.
Let them lie to you though, because they'll get the money from somewhere. They always get the money when they want it. You know, even if the clubs needed to pay for it. So I used to promote at Harlow's and Momo's. All the clubs right there, Bar West, Blue Q, everybody put money in and paid for the cop that used to be right there on the corner.
Right.
That stopped so many. I'm talking about issues.
Right.
It's just a deterrent.
Yeah,
It's just
a deterrent.
like
be a
putting
visual deterrent.
It's just like putting an ADT sound in front of your house. The chances of of your house getting broken in compared to the one that don't,
Yeah.
it's massive. That
Big
percentage is
facts.
massive. They're gonna go to the next spot that don't have a camera, that don't have this, that don't have that. They're not more likely than not, they're not gonna start no static with no police or no squad car up there.
Be honest, how much is it going to cost to park a squad car on the corner by Social and D30, one by London and one by Tiger? That's 3 cars,
Right.
3 units until 2:30 or 3, and then one patrolling, you know, going around, just driving around slowly. Like, you know, the city can make all the excuses they want, but like we've been here for too long.
And you know what's interesting because you know we outside and
Yeah,
we can see it. What's so interesting is I see a high influx of police cars all over when I start
Beginning
at
of the
10, 11. Oh, they active.
Right.
But then when it gets to be
Pulling
like
people
1
over.
o'clock,
When they
night,
need them.
baby goes.
I be like, where?
Shift change.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's not, to me, it's almost like, I don't know if it's a shift schedule. I don't know if it's a situation of making the coverage. that type of thing. But I'll be honest, I see them out there earlier, but then I don't see them when the times they need. The shit don't really be popping off when the club just open up.
Right.
Not from 9 to 11 don't really nothing be popping. It's when we letting people out.
Well, it's common sense. When does alcohol hit you? It's not gonna hit you
Right
10
away.
o'clock.
Yeah.
People are getting ramped up. You know, the whole you talk to a DJ, they building the night up. You know what I mean, for that crescendo. So cops notice.
Oh, he said crescendo.
Oh yeah, crescendo. You know that.
Nice.
The apex period of the night.
Exactly. So that 12:30, 12:45, 1 o'clock. That's everybody's looking for that moment. I mean, think about it. How many people come rushing to the club for that last 45 minutes?
All the time.
You know what I mean? Like we'll get a late night rush all the time because people want to get in there, you know, and only be in there for about an hour, have a good time, and get out. But that's because they've been drinking at other places. They've been having a good time before. Now they're just trying to end their night on a high note. Crescendo.
Yeah, no, but
I like
that's a point. I don't really be seeing the cops patrol, and I don't want to. Like I said, I ain't got the entire ins and outs, and I don't want to put it all on them. You know, they do have to.
not.
They do have to navigate. You know, other areas of SAC where the peak crime time hours. So I get it, but it's like I feel like with downtown for the city's sake and for the city's benefit. Every city deals with this. Every major city, any big city, any city that's got a population over 500,000, there's going to be areas where the police need to be more active because that type of activity is going on, right? But the one thing you can't have happen is in the middle of the place that's making you the money.
And
That
there,
right there, you can't have bodies on the ground.
Right.
You cannot afford that. Las Vegas Boulevard cannot afford to have bodies in front of Caesar's Palace.
Right.
But
Best
as
Western-
long as it ain't happening in front of MGM during a Floyd Mayweather fight, they don't care. So that's because that's where the money is. And Sacramento's no different. Like especially as
but
you
they
talk.
don't treat it like it's the money though.
No, they don't.
Like really think about it. So we have a staff of 27, I think it is, at the club. That's 27 people paying taxes. That's a business paying taxes directly to the city. So if you know this is your investment, it's for these clubs and bars right there in a small circumference. Why are you not protecting it? You know, it's people, you know, it's engineers, doctors, you know, regular day, you know, blue collar people coming down there. Why are you not protecting them as investments?
Right.
Like they don't even think about it like that. Because if we close now 27 people out of a job,
Right.
that's 27 people not paying taxes to the city. Now y'all really don't got a budget. You talking about it's too expensive to put a squad car out there. Well, how you gonna put it out there if we close down?
Right.
I need to know.
I have heard that they've been trying to get off-duty cops in different cities and different areas coming to the area to help out, but I just haven't seen the help, I guess, you know, and then once again, that could just be me, but I have been outside.
I haven't seen it. Have you?
You know,
said you haven't.
I haven't.
I know you outside.
There are a few locations that I remember doing it, and it's sad to say. Once again, we had a crazy shooting on the 4th of July. R.I.P. Mr. Greg Najee Grimes. But I used to see him in front of that location all the time. At least when I was going out, you know,
No,
they were right out front,
Right in the front.
right in the front.
About as the deterrent, man. You don't even need to engage too much. It's just you being there. People are going to have a second thought about raising their voice.
I don't
about
think that-
bumping into somebody. It's gonna, and then if you do bump into somebody, you're gonna second guess whether you need to swing on them or not. Like there's so many
Right,
things that come
right.
to play when you got that squad car there.
I don't think the shooting happens if that squad car is there.
No,
Definitely not.
100%.
Definitely not.
Nah.
Neither of the last two happened.
Right.
If a squad car,
If squad
is
car
right
was
there, in
there,
the middle,
yeah.
like, and it's crazy because those are things that, you know, hindsight is always going to be 2020. It's always going to be 2020. But these are things that should be the norm. The norm should be you should be walking up to a nightclub and see a squad car there.
Right.
You know,
right.
just in case. You know, I've seen a huge fight about to break out, you know, on the corner of our club, and a squad car pull up and put the lights on, and everybody scatter like roaches.
Right.
You know
It
what
all
I mean?
stops.
It all stops immediately. You know, they're gonna be, you know, cussing each other out on the way to the car, but that's it. You know.
Maybe that's something where entertainment police gets together and they have a meeting and they go out to each and every individual club and not necessarily add it on, but
What do the entertainment police come when they pull up on us?
when something actually bad happens.
They not even then. So they came Friday, came in, checked our books, and left.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
code
so-
enforcement.
Yeah, code enforcement.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So they have these teams available. But what you're checking our paperwork? You could check on the
Right.
computer and see if the business has up to date paperwork. You know, but you're choosing not to, you know, put the money where it needs to be. Put a squad car out there and stop sending these people in here to check notebooks and paperwork,
right,
that you could clearly see in your system is up to date. It bothers me on a whole different level.
There's differences, man. We're going through a change, as we used to say, man. It's a shift for SAC, man, and hopefully we're shifting in the right way. Hopefully the people that are in power are talking about ways and being able to deter these simple situations that are happening in our city, which are not necessarily degrading it, but we're getting a bad name now because of it. I went online and seen some stupid shit on TikTok. It was like, oh, you know it's bad when you're from this city, and it showed our city. Yeah. I read the comments, and it was like, oh yeah, that place is dirty, and I was like, what you mean? Like, what you mean dirty? Like, like that's why I don't go out. Like, well, that's you not going out. Like,
when the incident happened right up the block from us, I was all in the comments. Of course, you can't help it, but you're looking, you're reading, and they're doing everything possible to drag your location.
Right.
Especially since we're people of color, they definitely wanted to point the blame at us. So, it's unfortunate because everyone wants the capital to be a big city, but with big city comes big city problems.
I said that last week.
You know what I mean? So people don't really think about that. Like, okay, so say we open up 3 more venues, that's 3 more opportunities for something crazy to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like people don't think about those, the other side of that. Like, oh, it's nothing to do in SAC. Well, the moment the people who are in power start putting things together, people don't know how to act. Now it's like, this why I don't go out.
What happened at Sawyer? Like, look what happened there.
Like
they had pool parties going on and everything, but the residents came down on their head, said no more of this because they gonna dip.
Listen, I was upstairs having the time of my life. I had just got done talking to the general manager at the time because I wanted to throw a pool party there. I was still being a party promoter at the time. And one of my homegirls, is real tight with Chris Brown camp. So I was like, man, listen, if I could just get him an offer to come down here and do this pool party at the Sawyer, I'm going to be winning. Like, that's going to be it. So I went and talked to him. They loved everything I had to say. We partied, turned up. And then my boy came out here from the Bay. He had a suite upstairs. We go upstairs, and we just up there drunk as hell. I'm celebrating. I'm like, man, this is the first step towards where I want to be.
Right.
Man, my phone started going off. I still remember. I walked up to the window and pulled it open and looked downstairs. There's cops everywhere. It's a shootout. I mean, not a shootout, but a high-speed chase going on. That was, Sacramento can't have shit.
Man,
you can go, and that's another example. Thunder Valley.
Oh, you remember them days,
bro?
Yeah.
Man. Like there was a fight just in the line. There used to be fights in the line.
I seen a chick get pieced up in the line one time, literally. I said, "Oh god damn!"
I was just there actually last weekend.
Melatonin punches. Just